think SuperJJ might be the slight favorite. His deck seemed very well rounded. Savjz has some very explosive combos, but I feel his decks suffer more from inconsistency. The main thing to consider is I actually feel like the Malagos Rogue is more of a third wheel in the mid-range Shaman. The mid-range Shaman is actually...
that you played that was very low attack, like totems. And you also had AoE, and that was before even Light Bomb really became into a thing, so it definitely was really strong. Plus, Light Bomb's not even that good against Shaman because of all the totems that are zero attack, so it still keeps a lot of that clear. And the train of thought was that in order to beat the Priest player, you had to have Doomhammer with the double Rock Biters immediately ready and just burst them out of the game. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. In the meantime, one play, just because Rogue is one of the best equipped at dealing with it. It can just sap it. Even though we don't see it in the hand, it's the threat of it that's really big.
The Blood Mage is great here. It threatens the 4 damage, which basically counters any innervate play. If you would weapon up first, and then you play the Deadly Poison Blood Mage to follow, you'd only have 3 active damage that turn. So, alright, well...
Makes sense to me as well. You know that there's a lot of shenanigans that can come out on turn 3, especially with the availability of the coin. Okay. I mean, the Savage Combatant is still pretty intimidating. You don't really lose too much. It's just that you don't really gain that huge effect that Thorson does. Savjz goes for the slow play that you mentioned. Being able to innervate out Thorson or even go for the Ancient of War the following turn. And now, as a result, JJ gets an opportunity to set up again. Picks up a 3-drop, pretty crucial. Definitely not the ideal minion, but pretty decent.
Here we can go for the Emperor Thorson, which is basically the same position as last turn. Or he can go for the Azure Drake and kill for 3 damage Living Roots. Looks like he goes for the Emperor. I do think this is the better play.
Yeah, but this time he keeps his options much more open. Now next time he can coin the Ancient of War. He has the ability to use Savage Combatant with its hero power, and then Azure Drake still gives the flexibility of using the Living Roots, like you said. So I still think it's a pretty okay spot here.
Alright, SuperJJ gang goes for the highest tempo play. I wouldn't mind the Deadly Poison there. It would set up for a very good Auctioneer to follow. Fine.
What to do?
Okay. I just think that if he doesn't have it, it's just like a way you can really dominate the board early on. But I guess you're right. Like if he's playing around Sap from like the very beginning, and he's keeping like Thorson as like the threats from the early turn 3 play, then he's just following his line. I like it. So the thing about here is that you're still very vulnerable. Like you're talking about, you're vulnerable to Sap. He's just, for the same reason he's vulnerable to Eviscerate. So it accomplishes almost the same thing. In fact, it's actually slightly worse because of it.
That's a pretty good Emperor. It doesn't really hit any like Malagos pieces, but it does draw you quite a lot.
I got the best deals anywhere.
So it ends up just drawing, and now it's like, it doesn't matter if it was Sap or Eviscerate. The Druid's board is clear now. So how you have to deal with this immediately. Is that a force of nature, or are you just going to let that live? You have to kind of deal with the Guide Stand immediately, right? Oh, you picks up a 3-drop, though, so you can innervate the Mounted Raptor. Also can choose to go for the Savage Combatant, although you don't get any immediate value off of it.
I think I like the Savage Combatant better. It'll draw out another point of damage.
That's true, but if you don't innervate the Mounted Raptor, you don't get, like, proactive behavior with it, versus the Savage Combatant, you can still play it later on and get the Hero Power Inspire effect.
And here I'd be really tempted to Emperor, because you're seeing that the Druid is struggling so hard to deal with your board. Seems like the Druid has no reach cards at all.
I think Thorson's going to be one of the most missed cards when... Oh my god, chicken. I think Thorson's going to be one of the most missed cards when people realize like it's taken out of decks. It's just some of the stuff that allows you to do are just so crazy.
Yeah. Ooh, another auctioneer. I think you have to kill the chicken with your dagger, heal up, get for 3, then you got the 4-drop and the 3-drop at discount price.
Well, from this point onwards, you know, being able to just be be able to refill your hand is going to be such a big advantage. You mentioned it earlier with the fact that Rogue doesn't really draw many cards. You don't have a guarantee that your opponent has an auctioneer. So for Savjz, he might think, okay, JJ has just a few cards left. I can outlast him. Although that's
he really
not
needs to get
exactly
Sap, though.
quite true.
He's almost all in on Sap.
Flurry's not too bad either to use a second deadly poison, so he can keep that for the use. Okay, shift so that way he can increase his chance of drawing Flurry. Sap is good as well. And you know, he accounted for Sap being a possibility based off the way he shivved. I like it. Very good, solid planning from JJ. You can tell he's a rogue expert. The Flurry 1 card off. And Savjz not happy to see that at all. I mean, what do you do?
I was gonna keep drawing.
Oh, interesting. So he wants to use the coin. He can also keep Malygos. Sorry, keep the coin for Malygos. So he can Malygos, coin, Flurry.
Yeah.
But it's all possibilities. Depends on what he wants. Okay, he ran out of time. I'm curious if he would have
is the will to save the backstab combo with Malygos.
It's so good. Just like sometimes you have the will. It's not even just backstab, but sometimes you just need to save preps too, and you're so tempted to use prep.
I think this is where you just drop Malygos, right? Like the only way Malygos dies is if it gets full comboed.
Yeah, you don't. I don't think you necessarily need to backstab, but you also can. It's just one of those things where you want to get extra insurance for board control. Because you have second sap, so you can deal with the Ancient of War.
Yeah.
I guess we
Yes, that's it. Oh, what do you do? It's this over. You're never killing this.
Does he have a silence anymore? He just used one keeper. Did he use the second?
That's right.
One?
He can get the other keeper.
I mean, 412 is still intimidating for stats. Oh man, he thought he may have an out there, but that's just gonna get sapped. How much damage, by the way, is existing? That's 10, 15, 19. No, 20 damage.
He can double Blade Flurry.
Oh my god, that might be lethal.
It is. I think it is lethal. He can double Blade Flurry.
Oh, you're right. Double Blade Flurry. You can Flurry.
Yeah, you sap Blade Flurry, weapon up Flurry.
Yeah, right. The double Flurry in a turn is really crafty. And that's just going to be overkill when you account for that. That Rogue, again, one of the most fun decks to play. And JJ with a nice little, head crack there motion, just like, yeah, I got you in the chokehold.
Wow.
It's pretty, passionate about playing the Rogue deck again. Groaning over Paladins. This is one of the better decks which you can capitalize onto that.
Alright, well, there's going to be the mid-range Shaman versus the Druid. So far, it has been an excellent Druid Slayer, so we'll have to see how it changes. Savjz has a few tech cards that might change that in a big way. The Mind Control tech, we can see the one there, but I think there might actually be 2 in his deck. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know. He has Mounted Raptor, so I'd be very surprised if he ran 2 Mind Control techs with that. But it's a possibility. We'll see. Double Totem Golem, by the way, one of the best starts that the mid-range Shaman can ask for. If he just had a Tunnel Trog, the start would just be absolutely bonkers.
The issue here is, he's not going to go. Wow.
Yeah, I like this. Prepping for a turn 4 play, because he didn't have anything afterwards.
Yeah, the swipe would have crushed him.
Oh!
Whoa! Never lucky.
It's too bad. It's too bad. We always talk about the worst case scenarios, and it's usually injured Cavaldir being one of them.
Yeah, that's. I'm trying to figure out if that's worse or better than Pit Snake. Whenever you're wondering about that comparison, you know it's really good.
Okay. Slightly below average roll, but it's the only reason why you want 6 attack is anticipation for Druid of the Claw.
You
You're
can do
just probably
swipe.
gonna remove this though.
Yeah, I think if you do swipe, it's better to use Living Roots for 1/1s than it is to trade the 2/1.
Man, the Living Roots
Thanks otherwise, though.
really pushing the removal over the top, and now I think Shaman is back to its old ways. You're
Yeah, where you can't do
overloaded, so
anything.
you can't play Drake. Your opponent's gonna have dominant board position. Now the Savage Combatant hero power, well, actually doesn't clear anything directly, but it's still a really imposing board presence.
Mm-hmm. No, this is so hard to really catch up from.
Okay. Shoots this down. I think he probably trades in the 2/1 as opposed to weaken his.
Yeah, I would assume so. I think the Divine Shield might also be worth pinging off, because there's so many buffs in this deck.
Well, the good news is that he can't play Fire Elemental next turn, so Savjz feels very comfortable just leaving that 1/1 up on the field. Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
1 mana off, though. That overload.
Yeah. Again, problem, just Shaman things, right? Never enough with some of the mana stuff. And Ancient of Lore with an Innervate. I mean, that Innervate allows it to clear the Drake as well. Oh, especially with the... now that he has Wrath, he's going to be able to continue to kill off any minion that comes out here. Tough stuff, but this is kind of what the Druid does with tempo.
A Fire Elemental would be pretty good here. That will do.
So you can Lightning Bolt and Hex, squeeze in hero power, which gives you the availability to use the Thunderbluff Valiant and buff it. So if your opponent has all spells, which is mostly true, that's one of the worst draws Savjz could have. But he does have
It's
cycle.
got a cycle.
Oh,
It's one of the best draws Savjz can have.
you just used a Hex, so you know this is much safer. Oh, goodness
Got the
gracious. Another Azure Drake, you're right. It doesn't look like it, and it's too bad he can't roll multiple spell power totems. He also hero powered before he played the Thunder Bluff, so he probably has an alternative plan. It might even just be like Fire Elemental.
No, it's going to be Lightning Storm, I think.
I'll Lightning Storm, Lightning Bolt.
I think he's giving full respect to that minion. Oh, no, we're going to get to see the draw. What is the draw? It is Earth Shock. Okay.
Well, it conveniently again works out because there's no real minion. Oh, just kidding. One of the best cards to refill your hand with minions. And Savjz has more where that came from. He's getting closer to killing with Force Nature Savage the moment he draws it. Shaman just never was able to establish tempo, and look at the card advantage that Druid has. Normally it's the opposite, that Druid runs out of cards because Shaman outvalues it early on.
Yeah, but Ancient Allure is just so insane. Ancient Allure is... I don't know. It's better than sprinting. Well, we saw the Lightning Storm still an option.
Oh, here we go. Roll another Air of Wrath totem. Oh, okay.
Not bad, though. The life gain is going to be significant.
Restores 4 at the end of your turn?
Yep.
So you go up to 21. So that puts you out of Force of Nature Savage range.
Barely. Oh, no,
My
does it?
controlled tech. Oh,
yes,
man.
17.
That is the icing on the cake.
Into dislocator.
Give taunt.
Yeah. That's a nice taunt totem you have. That's my taunt totem now.
Is this priest?
Kind of. I mean, you thought you can escape the... If you think that's bad, Shaman, just wait. Just wait till Savjz busts out the priest again.
Alright, you got
Dominant
full
board
clear.
position. Another Lightning Storm is what JJ
It's
needs.
gonna have to be like a spell damage Lightning Storm with
So he needs
roll.
Drake into Lightning Storm, basically.
Yeah, this is pretty grim here. There's 10 plus 10. I think he's 3 off lethal. I think he's 1 off lethal, but he doesn't. Oh, okay, never mind. That's more life than you can have.
I think that's like 40 damage or so.
I'd go like 34 or something.
Yeah. All right. So going to game number 3, JJ once again on the Shaman, and Savjz picks up the Dragon Priest, but he chooses not to play anything turn 1 because he doesn't have any Dragon synergies if he drops the Twilight Whelp. Elf would also be a 2/1.
Alright, well, it's going to be Totem Golem into Totem Golem. That's going to be a really big deal here. I don't think there's any reason to attack with anything. Even the Divine Shield is worth saving.
Yes. Also worth noting is the positioning on how things are. Like, it's pretty important foundationally for how things go. Yeah, you're going to accept the Tunnel Trog's probably going to die.
I think you're accepting that well enough that you're going to initiate its death.
Right.
There it goes.
May it rest in peace. It was a good Trog. Twilight Guardian. I mean, this is, again...
this is a really, really good opener from the Priest, too, by the way.
It's not,
This is like
not always
the
happening
best
this
on
way.
both.
But... you know, the Shaman's keeping up in pace, kind of, sneaking in a little bit of damage here. At best, it can snipe only 1 minion with the Blackwing Corruptor. Unless it draws Circle of Healing, which it would be devastating for the Shaman.
Yeah, I think Akonai is so good, you'd probably want to save that until you get a Circle of Healing, but that Flash Heal might
Flash
be
Heal's pretty
necessary.
nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, with that Rock Biter, I think JJ will just hero power with it because he wants to save his mana for Fire Elemental. And the more he can start totening now, the more the Thunderbolt Valiant gets value as the game goes on.
Absolutely.
You are somewhat scared of the Cabal Shadow Priest, but less so now because you have Fire Elemental to answer the Wolf. Oh my goodness.
There it
Now, I
is.
think you can just sit on that for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually not positive there are Cabals in this Priest deck. I think a lot of the G2 players had double Cabal. Kind of skewed our opinion of that a little bit, but I'm not convinced that's actually the case for the other Priest decks in the tournament.
I'd be pretty surprised if he doesn't have at least one. You could be right about the having definitely not having 2, but yeah. Anyways, this is completely devastating. If you're SuperJJ, you're just like, oh god, 1 damage or 1 mana, 5 damage, and he also kills off your minion.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's gonna get even more rough after he sees the second one.
There is a lot at stake.
How's this gonna work? You don't really want to use the Circle of Healing here, but it's not bad.
Not unless you have to.
You can get away with the Flash Heal. It's a bit risky though.
Yeah, it is a little bit risky because you don't want Shaman to have any spell power totem or anything like that. So it's okay. He's willing to commit both of these Akonais, which means if he's able to kill them both, okay.
He is. He's able to play every card in his hand right now.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. Because now the access to the second Circle of Healing is not going to be that relevant for Savjz. I mean, the train of thought is that you have to really sit on these AoE so that way you can pick your battles and make sure that you can keep clearing.
A lot of cards that allow the Shaman to push for a little bit more damage than you can see. And the Savjz gives full respect for every draw, basically.
Oh, man. If only he had the sequence it the other way and being able to get the power shield, but it's just going to pass.
He has to save this. Yeah, pass to the correct play. Wow, such a good draw.
You know, one thing that we did ask is what does JJ top out at?
Whoa!
Elemental. I mean, those are if that could be the two most expensive cards in his deck. I have to imagine that he's also running a few other late game cards. But maybe I'm wrong because he's trying to curve out really aggressively early, so he doesn't lose too much. But he still lacks that big finisher. I mean, he might have end up playing that Akanai a little bit too aggressively here. I mean, it's one of those things where don't you wish you had the Circle of Healing combination right around now?
All right, you are winning.
Well, okay, Priest doesn't have Light Bomb. You know they don't have access to Circle of Healing with Akanai. I think you're completely okay pushing for the win here by going to the Fizz.
All right, well that enables the Shadow or Death, which is another spell for the Wild Pyromancer, which if he gets another, he does. That's it. That's a full clear. Oh no, it's one off full clear. He can't kill the
Drake.
The Drake yet.
Right, but he already used one Power Word Shield, and he can't really like Circle of Healing. We'll see. I mean, there's going to be some big fireworks happening in just a sec. Pulls out the Twilight Whelp. I guess that's minion follow-up. Which is nice. Oh man, JJ's covering his mouth. He's like, "Don't do this, not my board."
He's gonna go with the North Shar Flash Heal on the Pyromancer, and then he has another card draw for a final spell. He's looking for the last Power Word Shield for the last. No, Circle Heal won't do it. He's looking for the last Power Word Shield. Or he's gonna try to taunt, but that's gonna be devastating.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no, this is gonna end so badly for Savjz.
Non-stop swings.
There we go. He does it. Okay.
Well,
gotta smork it.
Are you gonna play Lightning Storm?
Yep.
Just go for it as hard as you can. Oh, those are three.
Lucky.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Just shaman things, bro.
Just shaman things.
Gosh. Now there's two taunts in the way, and there's possibly a game-ending like lockout. Like Priest can just keep healing.
Yeah, it's like taunt, and heal here.
Yeah, we're gonna need a good old-fashioned elemental destruction. That's the way you can get through here. But even then, if you do, you destroy your own Drake. I think you start healing yourself. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is the thing, like, Shaman could sometimes just not kill the Priest, and like, that's why you've seen the old school styles of Control Priest just play super defensive. There's no rush for them. They can just wait. Alright, this has to come out as a 7-6. Well, I guess 6-6 is okay as well.
Nope. Shaman!
Oh, JJ. You know what? I mean, it's one of those things where this is what you kind of have to expect. Sometimes you're going to get that Vol, sometimes you're going to get the really good ones.
I think it's safe enough to play Sarah.
Oh, definitely. And now JJ needs to hit another draw into a Hex to just start getting back here. That's just not going to do anything. I mean, I wonder how much longer JJ will stay
Try
in.
to get a punch with 3 odds. Nope, never lucky. This is like me playing like one of those train wreck arena games.
Well, it's happened to everybody where just nothing goes right. Cabal Shadow Priest is in Savjz's deck. He's gonna steal this Flame Tongue Totem. And like the really excruciating thing is it's not even like Priest is trying to BM, it just can't really win yet. It's just gonna take 3 more turns. And it's like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm really trying it, I just can't. Okay, maybe he can win in 2 turns now.
Yeah.
Alright. GG. That's going to be 2-1 for Savjz. We might have another final.
Maybe a little bit unfavored, but I do think the mid-range Shaman works very well against the aggro Shaman. It even has the Harrison, doesn't it? Did we see Harrison?
I want to say yes.
No, so here's
That
some from the
would be
rogue.
huge.
It was in the rogue deck. I don't think we've seen it in the shaman deck yet.
No, I think you might be right on the shaman. It might have it.
Hmm.
And if so, then that is going to be pretty devastating. Tunnel Trog. Start things off for Savjz. No play until he picked up that totem golem. Really good.
no.
Fantastic.
Oh no, it's gonna be the coin lava burst.
Yeah, but what other choice did he have?
Like just lightning bolt.
I guess you're right, but I think you have to play for that board. Like normally, even if he plays the coin feral spirits, you gotta do it.
That's
Hey,
good.
Look.
That works out excellent.
Yep.
Job done.
And now Savjz has to answer that with his own play, which is probably just Rock Biter.
Yeah, he's got to use the rock biter. It sucks to use rock biters, but with 2 you can afford 1, I think.
Which means JJ takes the board lead. Feral
Yep.
Spirits by itself is pretty good.
And Earthshock is very good as well. You can Flame Tongue Totem behind both of these taunts and Earthshock next turn.
Put this apple on your head.
Alright, the Knife Juggler and the Leper Gnome shoots face. Don't think that's what he wanted. Is he going to use another Rock Biter to just clear some of these wolves?
Wow.
Painful.
Yeah, there goes like the burst.
Well, there's still burst, just not the kind of burst that. By the way, SuperJJ might not have Doomhammer. We've seen his deck a few times already, to the point where I'm actually pretty skeptical myself if he has that as his late game option. But surely he has more than just 5 elements on the top, right? I mean, it's a possibility he doesn't, but
No, I think he's just playing basically a mid-range deck. Mid-range decks, especially ones without heals, kind of suffer from attrition. So the Doomhammer actually doesn't help with that, because even though Doomhammer looks like a very good way to clear out minions and maybe push for damage, I've tried it in like a lot of mid-range shaman decks, and very frequently just doesn't work.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
okay. Just loading up the board, but this is the revenge of SuperJJ. Look at that Flame Tongue Totem value, followed by a Fire Guard Destroyer.
Yep.
I mean, that's a pretty legitimate threat.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be at least a 6-attack minion when you place it to the left of the Flame Tongue.
Whoa. Extra attack. Who would have thought? Alright, well here... Okay, I guess you're looking for a spell damage totem. Oh,
He has to
God.
give up. Oh man. Let's see. Lightning Storm? Hex isn't bad. This is one of the biggest minions you'll end up hexing. But Drake is just a lot better, yeah.
Wow, there it is.
Yeah, Lightning Storm was... It's okay if you don't have it this turn.
Well, wow,
He's
he
just gonna
actually...
sit on it. Things is now Savjz is in a position where he might have to play control styles because he's just really intimidated by the board. So he'll definitely want to kill at least a Flame Tongue Totem off. But does he use a Lava Burst defensively? I mean, that's one of the questions. He's hovering over the Argent Horse Rider, indicating that he wants to be slightly more proactive onto the board.
I actually don't like that. I think you should have gone face. I think that's your only way to win this game. Playing the control game is exactly the way you're going to lose.
Oh, devastating. Oh, Jay doesn't even need the spell power totem. And that's going to be a almost a 2-turn lethal setup here for JG. He's a couple points short.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Savjz has Elemental Destruction, that can hold things straight in the tracks. For now, he's going to need to roll
Spell damage
power,
totem is
though.
a clear, yeah. No. You'd have 15, but yeah, that's still not enough.
Oh man, I'm not envious of Savjz's position at all. Might just end up passing here. Really calculating all of his damage, all of his outs.
I don't think you can pass, because you can't win next turn. If you can't win next turn, Okay.
Oh, well, Drake doesn't give it direct lethal. But actually, I don't think he can have lethal now because he can't roll spell power to him.
I think he has a rock biter left in the deck. That would.
Oh, you're right. You're right. The 2 rock biters were the opposite side. I'm thinking you just play the totem golem and just go for it. You choose the Earth Shock so he can get maximum damage to the opponent. So close. 1 damage off.
He's looking for elemental destruction.
Is there something that can save him though? I don't think so. Hunter hero power is great, but
It's not enough.
enough. He needed the extra damage because right now he's only got 2, 4, 7. And he's just gonna ping himself. What a crazy game! Once again, the Shaman.
That was mighty honorable of Savjz there. Taking himself out like that.
Gonna need that aggro Shaman to do some work on the Druid. The 2 iconic classes which has reigned terror over this format.
The Druid has been more successful than the Shaman, but most of the Shaman's success has been from killing Druids. So it's it's an interesting one. It's definitely a very close matchup. It looks like the opener from the Druid is considerably better than that of the Shaman, though. And I think out of the gate, it's looking like it might be favored towards SuperJJ.
Yeah, we'll see. The Darnest Aspirin is really powerful to stop the early game aggression. Really forces the Shaman to react strongly to it.
You really can't. He's got to just go face.
Hope that your opponent doesn't have yet a very good response to it. Living Roots is usually like one of the hits later on, like for example, Feral Spirit's coming up here.
Trogs behind taunts. There's quite a few things.
JJ opts to go for Wild Growth here. Now, Wild Growth, what it does is it guarantees him the ability to play something like the Savage Combatant on 4 mana. So, yeah.
All right, well, he's got to go with the Feral Wolves, so he cannot be overloaded on his 5th turn in order to Doomhammer on 5. You want to Doomhammer as fast as possible.
What to do?
So Feral Spirits are going to try and start pushing on the board a little bit, but I don't really foresee... Oh, interesting. I was going to say, I don't foresee anything other than Savage Combatant coming down, but...
I still like Savage Combatant coming down.
It is interesting. You do get to save 4 health this way. But Savage Combatant is pretty proactive. It's like forcing the wolves to address it as well. Just so happens that they can with the Lava Shock.
Yeah, Lava Shock is a great answer here.
Would you double Lava Shock just to preserve your board? I'd consider it.
Yeah, more damage. You get
More
one extra you get 1 extra repetition of attacks from the wolves.
Yeah. Assuming it's not blocked by any taunts, but not the case here. JJ picks up the Azure Drake.
Okay.
Swipe Wrath. Well, here comes the damage out of your wolves, because when you trade the 8 health, it's because you want to do the... You're trading 4 damage, believing that you'll have more damage out of your wolves in 2 turns. So
Yeah.
if you think these wolves can attack 2 more times, then it's worth it.
And I think that's a reasonable expectation.
I wonder.
Okay. You know, what I don't mind about it is that your opponent is still not really making power plays. Force of Nature's not really that good. Like, Swipe Wrath takes the entire mana.
Swipe Wrath.
What to do?
Okay. So, Savjz didn't get the 2 attacks with the wolves, but what he did get was a past turn, effectively.
Yeah.
From SuperJJ, giving him a very strong ability to answer back right now. Oh, he only has 4 mana, though, because the Doomhammer charged 2. Okay, so he has to only... Yeah, but I think it'd be so much better if he was able to play Knife Juggler with something else. Sorry, with the...
there's a Rock Fighter, though. It looks like this is closing in on Savjz's match here.
Alright, Savjz just a turn away.
There is lethal on board right now for Savjz.
Right now he's just going to bank on swiping, playing the big game Hunter, so that way he can innervate combo next turn. That's his line. He's gonna need to do it. And right now, Savjz is 1 damage off. Still 1 damage off.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
Sir Finley trying to dig a little bit deeper into the hero power pool. Shapeshift? Why not? Gives you 2 damage this turn. I like it. You can even play the Rock Fighter now, so you can get guarantee of all the burst. 12 damage.
Yeah, and that
Now with
doesn't
that
lose
Druid
the
hero
combo.
power, he's out of range of the Force of Nature Savage Roar. Oh man.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That's a draw.
That's the only draw that he could have gotten right now to stall it like this much. I mean, even the
And I think you have to hurry up. Like, you leave that Murloc on the board. You don't give a crap about the Murloc. It's
yeah,
time to go.
that is crazy. And what is that? Is that a shark?
Oh, shark!
Shark! Oh, beats! Fist pumps! He's going to the finals. SuperJJ's epic run with the mid-range shaman lineup is just gonna get cut short. A little, polite laugh there out of, a little